welcome viewers, or welcome back to anyone that's subscribed. I wasn't planning on starting the video this early, only because usually, especially this time of the day, 8 AM, heading northbound on the M7 through Sydney, it's definitely not this quick. We're only going, what, 65? But that's good. If you haven't been to Sydney, especially at peak hour, 65 is fucking amazing. Even that side is going okay. Yeah, so I didn't want to do a little video and just have it where I was just stuck in traffic. So we've got 3 deliveries today. I'm not going to take you through all of them, but I thought I'll just do a little bit, and if I can get the whole thing done in one go, I will. But I didn't want to do it while I was sitting in traffic. So we've already gone and delivered our first one at Ingleburn. So all 3 drops are in Sydney today. We started at Ingleburn, or parked up there last night, delivered there this morning. I think it was like almost 13 tonne we dropped off there, and then we've got, I think it's about 9 tonne at Orchard Hills, or Orchard, I don't fucking know. We're going that way. We're going to take Elizabeth Drive. We're just turning off up here. We've got about 9 tonne there, and I don't know, about 4 tonne, I think, 3.5 to 4 tonne is going to Smithfield. So I'm planning on going Smithfield last. That way, traffic will well and truly be not gone, but quieter. It's, probably be 10:30 or 11 o'clock by the time I get there. So that's our route today. You won't see it all, but heads up, I will be obviously driving, but no truck talk today. Story time with Shane. We're going to do another little subject, which I haven't really touched base on yet. I don't think I've done anything on it. Tattoo talk. Yes. In particular, I got knocked back for a job. This wasn't recently, but yeah, got knocked back for a job because of tattoos. So I won't straight up tell you where the job was or the position or whatever, but see if you can pick it. A lot of people probably haven't come through here, so I thought this would be a good little thing to get on camera, and you can see it before they finish all this overpass or whatever they're doing. They've got part of the bloody bridge there, and yeah, all the piers, and it's all going up. Here's me saying don't want to sit in traffic. Nothing's moving that quick here. Come on, blokes, we got a fucking green. We want to make it through on the first set. We're doing it. Yeah, so see if you can pick, and I know not everyone will do it, but there's a few people, I see yous commenting, especially, I've said it before, the ones that comment every single time, the ones that comment every video. I know there'll be certain people, just timestamp it, put a little thing of where the time and of when you're guessing, and put your guess of fucking trying to get in a gear, of what you think the job was. If you're wrong, it doesn't matter. I'll be curious to see if anyone gets it or how quick people get it. So at the time, I was just working labour hire and doing some bit of concreting. So it was, shit. It was shit. do you see what I see? Sorry, I got distracted. Yeah, it was shit work. So I say I'm on Seek one time. I'm probably, I don't know, maybe 26, 25, 26, 27-ish. I can't remember. It was a while ago. And I see a thing on Seek. He's turning left in here, so we'll back off and give him a bit of fucking room because we know he's going to slow down. Oh, there is a turning lane. Anyway, information day for this position. I was like, okay, so having an information day, there's probably going to be a few people there. You know, they're not going to have a big information day for, you know, a toilet cleaner or an information day for a groundskeeper, or, you know, so I thought, okay, well, I'll go there anyway. Went in, told work, I'm going to have next Tuesday off, whatever day it was. And it's one of the only times I've actually had time off, you know, going to look for another job. Anyway, I get there, and at the time I've got my arm tattoos, but when I got them, the bloke, he's finished them about 1.5 inches above my wrist, because I was only young, like maybe 18 and 19 when I got my tattoos, or started getting them anyway. And he said, I'll finish it a bit higher above your wrist, that way if you want to wear a long sleeve shirt, no one will even know. They won't know you've got tats. I was like, okay, thank you. So that's what we did. Anyway, I've gone to this information day. There was probably, I don't know, maybe between 25 and 30 people there. We're all sort of just standing around, and then we get called in. Anyone for the information day, you come on in. So we've all gone in, and there were a few people, a few speakers and all that, and you know, it was like going back to school. It was a bit like a classroom. You're all sitting down, and you know, the people up the front, you know, they sort of start pointing out and say, what's your name and what are you currently doing, and you know, why do you want a job here? And everyone's going around saying different things, and some are interested, some are got to turn up for the dole, and you know, some people just said, oh, I was just walking past and I saw someone standing out the front and I just wanted to be cool, you know, I just wanted to fit in. What are we even here for, you know? But so anyway, they've done all that, and they said, okay, we're going to go and put you all on some computers. Now this is where I know there's going to be some people that get it from, I'm assuming probably from this. They set us all up on all these computers, and they give us an aptitude test. Now don't ask me what an aptitude test is. It's almost, I don't know, like an IQ test, but they see how your brain works and your problem solving and trouble fucking shooting skills and how quick your brain functions and stuff. I don't really know. But and it's like, but Google one, and you can probably do one online, and it might, but I don't know, maybe I should have looked this up before I started talking about it. But you know, it'll be like, it'll say, what is the next shape in this sequence? And it'll be like a square, and it's coloured in, it's black, just a black square. And then there'll be a triangle that's only an outline, but it's got a line under it. Then there'll be a circle with 3 dots in the centre, and it'll say, what is the next shape in this sequence? You're like, what? I don't know, and you got to pick from all these different fucking shapes or numbers, or you got to, yeah. But when you click something, it just goes to the next question. It doesn't tell you whether you got it right or wrong, or, yeah. So obviously there's some algorithm within it that it works out, and I don't know, you get a score somehow. Anyway, we've all finished. I can't remember what it was, whether it was like 30 questions or do as many questions as you can in 30 minutes or whatever it was. It was, yeah. Anyway, they said, okay, we're gonna, it's lunchtime. And they put lunch on for us. There was sandwiches and little cakes and all shit like that. And anyway, so we've had our lunch and 1 hour, and I was like, you go to these places and you're like, 1 hour for lunch? Like, I'm just eating lunch. I'm not going for a shit as well. Like, I don't need that extra half an hour. just let's have a half-hour break and get back into it. Like, I'm having a day off for this. I could be doing other things. Probably just work because it was a weekday. Anyway, yeah, they call us all back in, and they've got all these pages of paper, and they start calling out names and handing out all these pages, and I've got my page, and it's got a long list of all these jobs on it, and then there's, I think it was like 3 or 4 things that were highlighted on this list. Anyway, he starts calling out all these names, and he just says, he starts calling out these names, and like there was groups of 3s or 4s or whatever, and he says, you can go with this person, you can go with that person, you can go with it. Anyway, it's starting to get less and less people, and I'm thinking, you're gonna call my name? Like, I've got my sheet. Don't forget about me. Like, I don't want to be like fucking school again. I don't want to be picked on the last fucking group. You go and you say, oh, I don't know anyone here, so everyone goes, oh, we don't know that guy, so we'll just pick him last. I hadn't showed up. I don't know if people had showed up at these things before, or anyway, it got down, there was 4 of us left, and I was like, oh, fucking lucky last group. And he said, sorry for making you wait, but we get rid of all the sort of the people that scored less. We get rid of them first because they've got less selections to make on this list. And oh, okay. So he said, yous all scored really well on your aptitude test, so yous can apply for any job on this list except for ones that we've highlighted. And we all had like, but 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, 5 lines, whatever. We all had only a few things that were lined that we couldn't apply for. And anyway, I was like, okay, well, good, because and he asked one guy, and he said what he was, what he was interested in, and then he said, ask me, and I was like, well, good, because the one I saw on Seek is here, it's not highlighted, so I can go for it. And he's, oh, what are you going for? Anyway, I'll just say the job now. So if you haven't already guessed, this is where you'll find out where it is. Aeronautical engineer. What the fuck is that, you say to yourself? Building helicopters, building aeroplanes. The job was for the Australian Defence Force, in the Air Force. So anyway, I've gone for an aeronautical engineer, building helicopters. That's the basic of it. And yeah, it would have been too easy to just go straight through. Anyway, they say, oh, okay, perfect. Did you know that there's one of them jobs, no, 2, they said. We're hiring 2 of those jobs, and it's based out of Newcastle. It's based here. And I said, yeah, I do, because it was on Seek. That's why I've come in. They said, oh, okay, because we get people just turning up all the time, and, they put their names down, and when a job comes up, they get a call back, and say, okay, well, I want to be a... So like the people at the start, they're like riflemen, or you can be a dental assistant or a fucking cleaner. All these, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say shit jobs, but all the jobs that you don't need to be technically applied to do. So all of the lower sort of jobs, that's when they were dwindling down the group. They're like, you know, this guy doesn't know how to spell his own name. We're not going to give him a gun. Okay, we're not going to have him building the fucking aircraft. We're not going to have you as a fucking on our special force team. You can be a cook. You can cook someone's baked beans. Okay? So I was like, okay, sweet. And they're like, well, do you want to come and talk to this person over here? Because they know this job, like they done it. I was like, yes, that's perfect. That's what I came here for. So anyway, I have a good little chat with this officer. That's, you know, done it for however long they have, you know, 15 years, 20 years, I don't know. But they were very, like, it was like talking to a truck driver that's done it that long. It was very interesting. It was amazing hearing. Obviously they didn't tell me stories about going to war and all that sort of stuff, but it was good hearing just about doing things and all that. So anyway, they said leave your details and all that and we'll get back to you. Oh, okay. And it was about a week later, I get a phone call from a number I didn't have saved or anything. Oh, it's so-and-so from, you know, Newcastle. Could you come in for an interview? I was like, yes, I can. I've got to have another day off work. So anyway, I've just let them know, look, you let me know when it's suitable and we'll come in. We'll let this van go and then we're going to take it a little bit wide because this is our drop number 2. They couldn't have driven any fucking slower. Alright, well, I will continue in a bit. Well, that took slightly longer than I would have liked, and slightly longer than I expected. But drop 2 done. It's probably not going to be any quicker than how slow this gate opens. So where was I? I think I was up to the point where I'm taking another day off work. Going in for the interview. Now, I can't remember the exact order of events, but I go in there. There was a few other people in there as well, going for whatever jobs or tasks they were there for. Anyway, I go in and you've got to pass like a psychological exam or psychological test or something, you know, like where they ask you all these weird questions about, you know, mental health and all that sort of stuff. This guy's reversing out onto the road. I don't know what or where he's going to. Oh, he's just getting around. Getting around. And they give you a physical, which involves, you know, pissing in a cup, which has never been a drama or an issue for me. You're gonna piss in a cup. You know, you do your push-ups and stand on one leg, and an eye test, a hearing test. You lay down on this bed and drop your pants, and the lady feels your balls. If my missus watches this, she's gonna say, "You didn't fucking tell me that. You didn't tell me that you had a fucking woman touching your dick." I told her. I told you. Now, it was about a 65-year-old lady, and she just feels you, I don't know, like, maybe it's a thing, like, you got to make sure that you don't have cancer or something before you go in. I'm not really sure. But she had to grab me fucking balls. I probably, didn't show her anything she hadn't have seen. You know, that was her job. Imagine that, just seeing dicks all day. Anyway, yeah, got through all that, and then you go and have another interview. And the final interview was with the same guy that I talked to like the week before that does the job. And he's like, welcome back. So he remembered me. He said the same thing as me. Welcome back. So, yeah, he's like, how you been? And I'm like, yeah, good. You know, not much has changed. Anyway, he just asked me all these questions, a lot of the same stuff we talked about the week before, but I think it was like a formal thing, you know. And there's all these other people having their own interviews with other people, and anyway, then we all come back out in this room and they're like, okay, lunchtime. Man, come on. It was provided again, but I was like, just, you know, can you tell me whether I do or don't get the job? Hopefully do. Anyway, they give us all lunch, and then like an hour later, they call us all in, and then it was just one at a time people would get called in, because they'd have all four people would be like the person that done the physical test, the lady doctor that grabs your nuts, the person that interviewed you, the person that done the psychology test. They were all sitting like a panel. There was like four of them, and you just walk in and then they were talking, and each person just got called in one at a time. Anyway, it comes to me, I get called in, and they, you know, talking about whatever they were talking about. I can't really remember. Like I said, this is 10 years ago. And or more, maybe more than 10 years, I can't remember. But anyway, they say, look, we're happy with this, you passed this and you've ticked that, and you know, your aptitude test, and we'd be happy to offer you the position. However, we do not accept hand or neck tattoos. I was like, oh. Like I said, I hadn't had my hands. If you watch back a few videos, I didn't have my hands tattooed. Maybe 3 or 4 videos ago, I'm not real sure. And then I got one done, and then it was a week after I got the other one done. So now I've got my hands tattooed. But I did have, I don't know whether you want to call them knuckles or fingers, but I had these done, and I had 2 tattoos, one on either side of my neck. So I said, yeah, we don't accept hand or neck tattoos. So if you want to get those removed, we will be more than happy to get you in for another interview. And, you know, like, they didn't say we'll offer you the job, but they said if you get removed the tattoos, we'll get you in for another interview, and if you score as well as you did today, then fuck, I thought that bird was going to hit the windscreen. Then we think that you'll do really well. So I don't think they can say, look, do this and we'll give you the job, but they say in a manner of, if you tick all these boxes, then you've ticked all the boxes. So I'm like, oh, well, why couldn't you tell me this last week? I'm like, well, last week wasn't an actual interview. I was like, no, but I still talk to you. You're the same guy I talked to. When I came in for the interview, you said welcome back, and you talked to me. How have you been? I saw you last week. Why couldn't you mention this last week? I don't know. Look, I'm not crying, woe is me. I'm not saying, oh, look at poor old me. I didn't get a job because I've got tattoos. No, I chose to get tattoos. And it was a choice that I sort of weighed up when I get them and say, okay, well, people may be treated differently. You still go down the street and people will look at you. I mean, okay, granted, I do have a few tattoos. I've got my hands done now, but I do have my head tattooed. Not my face, but everywhere that will grow a bit of hair on my head or my scalp, it's tattooed. Okay, so I do get looks from some people. Some people do come up, and some people randomly will just come up to me and ask me, about, your head tattoo and did it hurt? I'm like, what do you think? Did it fucking hurt? What kind of a question is that? Yes, it hurt. But yeah, then other people just, come up and, oh yeah, that looks cool, or, there'll be other people that, what is it? What's that? But, even to the point, like, I don't, okay, I'm not a peacock. I don't walk around with no shirt or a singlet on, like, all the time. I do it rarely, to be honest. I don't go out and around just to try and out and flaunt that I've got tattoos, like, I don't try and hide the fact that I do have it, though. It's like when I started this job, I just wore a t-shirt. I think it was like a collared t-shirt when I come in for, like, if you want to say the interview or had a chat with the boss. And I'm pretty sure I did wear a hat, I think, just because it's, it's a bit much for some people, just if they're meeting someone new and you're like, oh. But yeah, the boss, he's told me he does watch, or he does, I'm not sure if he tunes in, but he has seen my videos, and no dramas, no issues. There's quite a few people that I've met or I've seen, and they've seen the videos before they even know who I am, or before they've even met me. They're like, oh yeah, you're Shane. How the fuck do you know me? They're like, oh yeah, I've seen your videos. And I'm like, oh okay, well fair enough. Like, thanks for tuning in. But yeah, it was, I can't even remember. It would have had to be at least, I reckon, 2 months in to working at this job. I've gone in and I've done a load, and I had the boss with me, and we've gone in, and it was one of the places, you gotta wear all the safety gear and all that, and I've jumped back in the truck, and we're heading out. I've taken the hard hat off, and he looked over and said, I didn't know you had your head tattooed. And that was about as far as it went. Doesn't care. As long as you do what you need to do, and you don't go out acting like a dickhead. You could have tattoos or you could have no tattoos. It doesn't matter. But anyway, one other little story. Dan, who no longer works with us, he's moved. He's had a bit of a move. But he said to me, because we got pretty close. No homo, but we got close. We got to be pretty friendly. He says, look Shane, I've got to tell you something. I said, yeah, what's that? He said, well, when you first started, he said, I saw you walk in, you've got all your tattoos, and then I saw your head tattooed. And he said, I just looked at you and thought, oh man, how much trouble is this guy going to be? How much trouble is this guy going to bring in with him? And I was like, no, I'm a good boy. I like to do the right thing. I don't like getting in trouble. But yeah, I think it is still a stigma. You go back to probably the 90s where it sort of started becoming fashionable or whatever, and then the 2000s where everyone started doing it, getting tattoos, and it became more socially acceptable. Before then, it was either you're in the Army, Navy, Air Force, you're in the Defence Force, or you're a criminal, you've been to jail. That were the only people that you ever saw that had tattoos. My pop, he passed away now, but he was in the Navy for a long time, 40 years or 45 years. I don't know what his rank was, but he was up there. He was someone, and he had tattoos all over him. And I'm thinking, how can you be in the Navy? You're a leading officer for 45 years. You told people what to do. You got tattoos all over you, and then here's me trying to get a job, and they tell me no. We don't like the way you look. You know, and they cry, oh, people these days are not interested in joining the Defence Force. We can't entice young people to join. Because you fucking knock people away. I was qualified and passed everything except for the way you look. Now, you know, would they hire someone with burn scars? Because that doesn't fit in with their sort of, you know, the way you gotta look. I'm guessing they would. You know, they'd look at it and go, oh, we still feel sorry for him. We'll give him a job. But I don't know. No, I'm not complaining. But it's, yeah, just a story. And I'm saying it's silly. It's double standards. Does that lane end? Yes, it does. I'm going to get behind old mate here. So he's got to get over. There's no need for me to speed up and then cut him off. He's empty and I've only got 4 tonne on, so we're heading to Smithfield. I'm hoping by the time we get there and drop this off, it's going to be well and truly past peak hour. It is currently 9:30. So by the time I get there, drop it off, traffic should be died down and we should be able to cruise straight out. But yeah, so that's my little story of, no, we're not going to hire you because of tattoos. So, what better a thing to do? Word of the day. Well, not so much a word of the day, but tell me your stories. What have you been knocked back for from a, how can I word this, for a job? Why have you not got a job? What's the reason? You know, like I'm sure there'll be some good stories. You come up with stories. If you've all made videos, you know, and about just weird shit, you know, some of you people with the comments, they're better than my stories by far. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be someone out there that'll be like, oh yeah, you know, this guy goes home, he's like, yeah, we found a guy, he's great, he you know, fits all the ticks all the boxes, he's got plenty of experience, he's super keen, he didn't ask for more money, he lives locally, and then his wife says, oh yeah, okay, well what's his name? Like, I might know him because I've lived here for my whole life, and oh, you know, his name's whatever it is. And she's like, oh yeah, we dated in high school. And he would be like, yeah, okay, I'm not getting him a job then. He doesn't get the job. I don't want someone working with me that's fucked my wife. You know, stories like that. Tell me your best story of why you haven't got a job. Or if you're the person that's hiring, tell me the best story that you've knocked someone back for. You know, is it because you had 3 Samanthas working in the office and another Samantha come and hide, and you're like, no, we can't have 4 Samanthas. There's too many fucking names that are the same. You call out, hi Samantha, and then there's 4 people going, hi. No, that's confusing. So, yeah, tell me your best story. And as always, if you've got anything else that you want to ask, I had a little question the other week about getting a job and all that, and I tried to just do the best I could with the comments. I don't have the time when I'm on the road to reply to all the comments, so I'll do my best. I do read them all. It is appreciated. But yeah, anything else that you want to see, you want me to do, you want to hear, any advice, or like anything that you think I can tell a story about, throw it in the comments as well. That's about it. If you've watched this far, you haven't already subscribed, just do it. Why would you watch, I don't know how long this has been, it's probably over 20 minutes. Why would you watch something for 20 minutes and you're probably, okay, after this you're going to watch another one. You're going to watch one of my older videos, or if you're watching this in the future, you're going to watch a newer video than this. You're going to go and watch another. Why haven't you subscribed yet? That's it now. Bye-bye.